What is organic food? Organic food is often referred to as food that is grown without the use of unnatural substances such as genetically modified organisms, unnatural growth hormones and any other preservatives or chemicals not found naturally in the environment. Organic foods grown on an organic farm via organic methods also usually means that no, or in some regions, a very limited amount, of pesticides and other pest control materials that are not natural are not used. Natural forms of pesticides such as neem, for example, are permitted. Many regions have different organic certifications and in many cases, the requirements for successful organic certification vary from region to region, so it is important to educate yourself on the types of certifications and their permitted substances and procedures. There may also be a difference between certified organic and organic-based natural foods as well, so you should check whether this applies in your region. We created a simple guide on the differences between certified organic, and natural that has been shared over 500 times on social media that may be a good starting point for you on this topic if you are interested. Organic is probably, don't shoot me, I did say probably and even italicized it, exactly the same in terms of quality and processing as certified organic without the official badge of honor. What stops some people from purchasing organic, however, is that there's no official proof. It's like swearing that you saw a spaceship without the photograph to prove it. You may be wondering why I've italicized official twice before. It's because the manufacturers of organic products should have some sort of documentation stating that the products have had no chemical and unnatural processing going on before it got to your fingertips. Should doesn't always mean they do, which is wrong. Very wrong. At least in my book anyway, but we all have different yardsticks, you get the picture. Any food product that is grown without chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides, and most importantly without herbicides, this is used in GMO crops, is organic. There are natural plant-based harmless to human being alternatives for chemical fertilizers and chemical pesticides. Using those one can still achieve the agricultural yields as that of chemical farming. It would take about 2 years for that farmland to get rid of the chemical residue of the harmful chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Thus only after this period one can say the food produced from that particular farmland is organic. Now one may ask, if the organically produced food is packaged with chemical preservatives, does that still qualify as organic food? Here is where there are two opposing views, some still account it as organic food and some not. Particularly the big packaged food industry still wants to call the packaged food products with chemical preservatives as organic. Without this, the organic farming industry can't sustain economically, as most of the organic food that is produced is bought by the big packaged food companies. Thus I leave it to the buyer. One can always buy non-processed organic food and cook it and eat it. Well, today it depends on who you ask. The USDA recently weakened rules for organic products to now allow confinement chicken houses, mega dairies, and fertilizer-dependent hydroponic systems to become certified organic in order to, in their words, grow the industry. But in order to answer your question, I'm going to call on Elliot Coleman, who has provided a far more eloquent answer to your question than I could ever hope to give. As a system, organic farming follows standards that have been developed over more than a century by wise people who farmed before us. These standards are as follows. First, for uncompromised nutritional value, all crops must be grown in fertile soil attached to the earth and nourished by the natural biological activities of that soil. There are so many aspects of soil processes that we could not replace even if we wanted to, because we are still unaware of how it all works. Second, soil fertility should be maintained principally with farm-derived organic matter and mineral particles from ground rock. Why take the chance of bringing in polluted material from outside the farm when fertility can be created and maintained internally? Third, green manures and cover crops must be included within broadly based crop rotations to enhance biological diversity. The greater the variety of plants and animals you grow, the more stable the system. Fourth, a plant-positive, rather than a pest-negative, philosophy is vital, focusing on correcting the cause of problems by strengthening the plant through optimum growing conditions to prevent pests, rather than merely treating symptoms by trying to kill the pests that prey on weak plants. more and more scientific evidence is available today on the mechanisms by which a biologically active fertile soil can create induced resistance in the crops. Fifth, livestock should be included and must be raised outdoors on grass-based pasture systems to the fullest extent possible. Farm animals are an integral factor in the symbiosis of soil fertility. The ultimate goal of these 5 precepts is vigorous, healthy crops and livestock endowed with their inherent powers of vitality and resistance, as well as the independence that comes from minimal reliance on outside inputs. As late as 1980, a USDA study, entitled Report and Recommendations on Organic Agriculture, acknowledged these essential tenets of organic farming. Here's what it said: soil is the source of life. Soil quality and balance are essential to the long-term future of agriculture. Healthy plants, animals and humans result from balanced, biologically active soil. However, supporters of organic farming need to realize that the ground has shifted under their feet. We now have dairies of thousands of cows with no real access to grazing and 1,000-acre vegetable fields fed on soluble organic fertilizers of suspicious provenance. And, most dismaying of all, we also have organic hydroponics. And in case anyone is tempted to ask, but how can hydroponic production be organic when there isn't a trace of soil anywhere in it? The USDA rewrote that definition in 2002 to remove any reference to the word soil. So today, the big money is being invested in vegetable factories and vertical farms, where production is hermetically sealed in huge warehouses filled with LED lights and nutrient pumps. That's the picture and the future of organic, as defined by the USDA.